Hey, welcome to Saturday Shorties. Yeah, I'm going back to the well for this one with another Transformer, and you're getting two figures for the price of one today. So meet Classic Pretenders Grimlock. These figures were released in 1989 with all original parts. Yes, I know you can only see one figure at the moment, have some patience. If there's one way to describe this guy, I'd say Dad Bod. There's quite a lot going on with the toy. The colors, the molding, it's busier than I would have expected. There's like giant engines on the back so he can fly, I guess. He's also got horns on his shoulders, which brings me to the only points of articulation there are to be found. Namely, he can rotate his arms 360 degrees, and that's it. There's a reason for the limited articulation, and yes, don't worry, we'll get to the fireworks factory, calm down, but for now, I have to mention the accessories. He has a helmet, which makes him look even hornier, and a gun that's also a sword, kind of. It looks pretty weird, but also badass. Now, you'll note this figure doesn't really look like the Grimlock Transformers fans are most familiar with. That's because you are being deceived. This isn't Grimlock at all. This is just a lifeless shell, a disguise for a robot, if you will. Yes, not satisfied with tricking us into thinking they're cars or boomboxes or whatever the hell most of Six Shot is supposed to be, the Transformers now try to pass themselves off as humans. Giant humans, mind you, so the disguises could use some work, but humans nevertheless. You open the shell, well, after you remember to remove the helmet, and there's a tiny robot inside. So meet Classic Pretenders Grimlock. Again, the actual guy this time. Normally, I'd first show the robot mode, but since he's mostly known for staying in what we retroactively call beast mode, I'm showing the T-Rex form first. And isn't this the cutest little robo-dino you ever saw? God, if Grimlock was real, he'd tear me to pieces for saying that. It's a cool looking thing, I just wish the grey had been a bit darker, more like the original. In this form, he has articulation at the arms and legs. Both would be able to rotate 360 degrees if other stuff didn't get in the way. He can also move his head up or down thanks to the way he transforms. It's okay, but I really would have liked to have a jaw hinge so he could open his mouth. Transformation is pretty simple. You tilt the head back so the back halves of the torso can move up, forming the robot legs. You fold up the dino head and move the dino legs down, becoming the robot arms, and you're done. Well, unless you're boring and choose to also remove his silly hat. Yeah, the tail comes off, and I guess this means he had his head shoved up his ass. The tail is also his only accessory in this mode, something that with a lot of generosity of spirit you might call a gun. Yeah, he looks better without it. Robot mode looks like Grimlock in a mini-me sort of way, but it's still a good looking figure. Articulation is similar, he can move his legs a bit and the arms can now freely move 360 degrees. All of them, even the now useless ones. His head seems like it could move, but it doesn't. You can still move the dino head so he can have a passive-aggressive conversation with himself, I guess. Though I must admit, having eyes in the back of your head can be useful. Detailing in both modes is pretty good, making him look like a robot or a robot dinosaur, so good job there. Now, I never had the original Grimlock, and this is the actual toy from my childhood, so this was Grimlock for me, even though he looks less intimidating in this size. Both figures are supposed to have Autobot stickers, but the ones on mine have long since departed. The Transformers Wiki can't show you them though if you care that much about them, and if you have a spare week or so, you can read up on all things Grimlock there too. And that was Grimlock, the Classic Pretender version anyway. He's a cool little guy. Well, I'll see you next time everybody, and hey, why not like, share and subscribe if that's your thing.